Hello and welcome to the Hearts Podcast. This is by me, the British Empress, and this is the 100 video on my YouTube, which welcomes you to the Hearts Podcast, and this is the YouTube version introduction. Hopefully I have no interruptions as I am doing this in the early morning of 15th of April 2026. I am an early riser to an extent, and hopefully I have no interruptions with my health, such as asthma, clearing my throat, or possibly hydrations in between. That could happen too. Now, we have at least 10 pages here for this episode, so it should be a fairly long episode. And I will be keeping the notes stored safely in my folder. But yes, you have caught me in a two-era journey. So, I have my YouTube re-uploads era and my writing era. I am planning on writing 5 books now, at least, because I am an inherited writer, thanks to our late grandma, so it is such an honor to continue her legacy. Yes, re-upload era. We are due to finish these re-uploads on the 18th of April, which I had originally worked out at the 19th, so it has finished earlier. Then we have a 5-week silence until May 31st, when the channel turns 2 months old. So we are still in our baby years. I started this YouTube channel again because I wanted to do things the right way. However, you have also caught me on a big hiatus, I think that's how you say it. I am using this time to take a step back, de-socialize, although IRL are expectations, and doing the odd YouTube here and there, as I want to also update you on the hiatus number 1, which is this one. It has already been a week since my last Twitch stream also. The VOD stays up during this time and will be deleted in June when I am due to come back, as I want to come back. Sorry, I'm just turning the page. I want to come back for summer. Summer for the UK does not officially start until June 21st, which is now 67 days to go. Please, no memes. So yes, the countdown is on, and I am using this time, like I said, to de-socialize and focus more time on writing, other projects, and gaming. We are on day 3 of this hiatus. For my writing, I am writing my first autobiography again. This will be the rewritten version, and I'm already at 100 pages, which has proudly been written. My writing era should be at least 5 years, which will be the year 2031. And I think if I'm correct, I'll be aged 33, I think. I'll need time to draft the chapters, write the chapters, and then type up the chapters before hopefully self-publication. It's all thanks to content creation that I'm able to continue attempts in self-publication. Whilst I am a content creator, and both my content creation goes back to back with my writing, I prefer being labelled as a writer. Especially since there is no option to combine both titles in most places. But I am really proud to have the additional title of content creator. And I've been doing content since 2021, but under this channel since 2023, although this YouTube is new now. My neutral zones is going to be YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram, but my Twitch and Discord I am most passionate about, which is why I am stricter there, as I am trying to build my community still until at least I get over 1k members, so that we can have achievements and goals met, because We do have a strong holding point there at the moment, and we have a lot of things to work to. I am doing this in April 2026 where I am 29 years old, and my rabbit is now 5 years old, and he is my current child, and he is my dear Floppers. I have hopes to expand my family and have many more rabbits, one at a time, that is. Since the withdrawal became legal just last year in October 2025, it is turning 1 year. I am also gifting the role of withdrawal help to you, but you must have friends to help you do it legally, if that makes sense. Especially since the law is by my side and I like to play it safe. I learn a lot in my years of being religiously spirited, accepting possibilities of being a rare telepath, and the possible considerations of being celibate. I will have dedicated episodes as well to explain celibate and why I've chosen that now. I've had my love story, and whilst I still have feelings to crushes, to perhaps wanting a platonic marriage or the same sex, to the same sex, as that is now my chosen preference, because even a platonic companionship could work. Either way, as long as it is respecting my celibate choice and it is platonic, it should work. No manipulating me though, controlling me, enforcing your views to mine, and most certainly not attempts to change my preferences, as that has happened too. It is all about boundaries, two-sided, not parasocial or delusional concepts. If I were ever to have human adoptions too, my name, I will be your sister by default, because I am not fit to have human children. And at least I'm being honest. But I've had my love story, 4 eventful relationships, and so far I have no intentions of having more. Relationships are stressful, and my favourite actress would agree. We're about halfway through this episode, so just a little heads up there. I also have 3 cultures. I now have had 3 names, last names, no more. I have no middle name. Don't want a middle name either. I have been told that I can be extreme about things. Can you try and understand why? I have been through many fake friends, and in fact, I know this may seem harsh, but given my outcomes and what I've been through with them, I don't think friends is a correct label for them. Since 2015, during my last years of further education, I have finally made time to have real friends. Mary being my longest by 11 years, and Emmy the year later in 2016 by 10 years. It goes to show that I can be loyal, and maybe I am just meeting the wrong people, who knows? Because you can't trust everyone, not even your friends, not even your family. I do all of these extreme things for protection of myself. I have been hurt before. I do occasionally get hurt now, but not as much because it's mainly boundaries and communication. That's what it's all about. Don't assume I know your boundaries. Please feel free to let me know what they are. I've had people only take an interest because I am from a different country, because I am from this country, and always making fun of the way I speak or do things because of my accents, adoptions, and neurodiversity. Can't you be friends or take interest of just me? Why is this happening? And I'm sorry to say this, but it is because, yes, you guessed it, I am popular. Why am I popular? What makes me so different to everyone? You know? Whilst I was planned, and I'm sorry to say this, but I feel I was a mistake. Because of the way my parents, not one but all three of them, talk to each other, talk about each other, and disrespecting my existence. I have to stay strong. I have to fight for my life. No, I'm not going. But I do have many challenges to face and have had faced. I am in a recovery zone which is temporary, and hopefully this hiatus should help, as I do have a fair few of them planned. Whilst I look for most is loyalty and friendship, it is about boundaries and communication also. For me, and I know I shouldn't really label this either, you either like me or you don't, so choose your side, because like everyone else, I too have my own expectations. However, we have to enforce free will and work for freedom, because even those two things, nothing is free. Whilst you could be a person on the internet, and this is a perspective I like to teach, you are still a person. Because the way you behave about online could also say a lot about you. I am trying my hardest to make it so that these fair few places can remain safe. We all have our uniqueness. We all have our differences, feelings, thoughts, and opinions. It's about loving each other and respecting each other, and remember kindness. If you don't like the way your life is, change it. Look for solutions. Don't compare, as that is easily done. It is not a competition either. You are your own special creation, and no one should take that away from you. For me, I have 8 boundaries, but I am thinking of updating it so it is reduced. And now 5 social circles, because there are a lot of interest. I can prove this, but I do have at least 50 friends altogether, which to me is a big number. There are also 2 extra groups that I use to help anxiety, MH, and management of popularity that oversee both things, the boundaries and social circles. If you want to change circles or groups, you can, but every person, as I have put each person in each place, there is a reason why that person is there. So that every person has a reason. Don't say I hate you. You clearly don't know me. I tend to hate behaviors more than the person, because hate is very strong. Even words as little as dislike. It shows a lot about you. I was also guided this by another actress. So yes, there is a lot of things to consider here. That is the way I want to do it. Suggest things, don't demand, and certainly don't speak for me. This is why I have also adopted the ally tag, as I could be your next alliance. I wanted to express that before getting to the main part, which is about the actual podcast. Just so I'm introducing myself a bit and you know what you're in for. But for this podcast, as I have also got 2 different focuses, this is my main show. For the first time in my journey of content creation, as I think it was about late 2022 or 2023, I started doing podcasts inspired by a creator. I now have my own show, and I am full of stories. But what I want to now introduce to the podcast is education and awareness, since I have a lot of interests, go through many challenges, experiences as that individual. I am a writer, sharing my story, writing my story, and going back to back with content creation, and there is always something to talk about. The only time I stop talking is needs, in the zone, or planned hiatus. This podcast does have seasons. There are 17 seasons planned. The episodes after the seasons will not be in any seasons. They will just be numbered. And in episodes altogether, including the planned seasons, we have over 300 plus episodes. I am nowhere near of being finished yet. I don't know if it ever will finish. I have yet to have guests on my show, and sometimes their mic may be quiet. Maybe I could have some of my friends, the family I have left, other IRL guests, other creators, or other viewers maybe. Even a fan or supporter could join if they feel comfortable. But either way, you need to get comfy because you'll be here a while, as I have a lot to tell you. You will be, after this episode, able to listen all episodes on YouTube, in this playlist, or on Spotify. I'm sorry I had only just thought of this episode, but it is important so you know what you are in for. Listen to anyone you want, as many as you want. Grab your snacks, drinks, put me in the background and let it play. It should play in order. And I really hope you enjoy my show.